And it is wonderful for us to be joined by the 2025 Naismith Men's College Official of the Year. He is the supervisor of Atlantic 10 Conference Men's Basketball Officiating, Brian Kersey. When you get that honor, you can now direct all email complaints, all text messages to you. That's
Coaches
what
are no longer able to call, though. Coaches can no longer call.
Brian, thanks for taking some time.
Absolutely.
For those at home, Brian sat down and he goes, I don't know why you're talking to me. We said we want to talk some basketball.
We got questions.
Because
we got questions.
Yeah. So the biggest thing out of the gates is now coaches have the ability to challenge, but it's not just the ability. It also is going to it's going to help the game in a lot of ways.
Agree.
Take us through what went into this and how it's going to help the game.
I think it's going to speed the game up.
Yep.
Number one, it's going to stop our referees from using a crutch for a replay on out of bounds. But then again, it's going to require a coach to keep a timeout. So we're hoping they keep the timeouts. It's restricted area plays, basket interference, goaltending, out of bounds plays. We cannot, throughout the whole game, go look at an out of bounds play. So there's going to be games won and lost on out of bounds plays if a coach doesn't have a challenge. So we can look at basket interference, goaltending the last 2 minutes at any time, but we can't look at out of bounds plays. So I mean, it's going to have its blips. They need to have a really, really good video guy, which I've told all the coaches, walking around here today, to have a really good video guy and make sure that they have really good internet service, because it's you don't have a lot of time. It's going to slow our referees down, which I think will help them, because I think all referees need to slow the game down anyway to work the game. So we'll see where it goes. I would think it would expand. I don't know if we'll ever get to fouls. We might get to proximity fouls, like on rebounds where the ball gets shot out of bounds. We may get to that in a couple of years, but I think the rules committee did a great job getting this. I think it's what the coaches want. I don't think all of the coaches fully understand it, but I think they will. Once we get through November, halfway through December, I think they'll have a good hold of it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're not going to really know how it works until you've experienced how it
100%.
works. Can you just kind of take fans through what that process will look like for how, like, there's a call that goes out of bounds? Is it like baseball where you hold up your hand and say, we're going to look at the replay and then do this?
I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's what they're going to start doing it. And then I think eventually they'll just turn, because we're not going to, you're not going to see us wiping the floor up. You're not going to see us making sure wiping the ball off. Mm-hmm. You're going to see us look over there. And then they've got to call a timeout. They have to have a timeout, and then they can request it before we administer a timeout. So it's going to be a little bit of lag time. I think it'll, especially the last 2 minutes, I think it'll speed up because out of bounds plays. But again, you have a team that runs through their timeouts. Like, remember Pete Gillen? Mm-hmm. Pete Gillen could have never done this because he called all his timeouts, with 10 minutes left in the game.
Right.
But, I think it gives the coaches a little bit of leverage, makes them keep their timeout, and puts a lot of pressure on a video guy.
Yeah, I think it also is very good for the end of games, right? Because the worst part about it was you get this fantastic game where there's 45 seconds left and it's back and forth, and then every single possession, every time a ball goes out of bounds, it's all right. We're gonna go and look at it, and it ends up it kind of takes the drama and the rhythm out of the game. And I think that bringing that, if it means that. Look, you guys probably get 95% of the calls right. Correct. And if it means that 5% of them end up being wrong and have to get reviewed, and then maybe 10% of those can't get reviewed because the coach doesn't have a timeout, I'm willing to live with that.
Correct.
To make the game better.
I think that's where we're at, because, last year in a lot of the conference tournaments, or not a lot of them, a few of the conference tournament games in different leagues, like one game had a semifinal game, had 2 out of bounds plays in the last 30 seconds that they reviewed and overturned. So if a coach can save, and they both went against the same team. So if the coach can save his timeout, then he gets those 2, because if he's right, he gets a second one. If he's wrong, he loses.
That's the big thing.
So, they just got to save them. There's no need to look at I tell them, why are you going to look at a basket interference 10 minutes left in the first half?
Right.
And you still got to have a whistle on it. So we're either calling it or not calling it. So, I mean, it's going to have some, there's so many good games early that's going to test this, the first week of the season. The games in Rock Hill are hard. The games starting on Tuesday, hard. There's so many teams playing bigger schedules, they're just going to test this thing early.
See, that's why we had him. This is a great promotional opportunity. The Field 68 opening day tip off.
Opening day tip off. 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 a.m.
8
He did the
a.m.
promo for
I'll
you.
be sitting right there.
Yeah,
I need a good seat now. I need a good seat.
Whatever you need.
Goodman had you in the nosebleeds.
Yeah,
We'll
but
put you.
you talk to us. We got all the polls.
Goodman's got me in standing room only up top, right?
Just wait until there's a challenge at the end of that first game,
right.
and
Yeah.
Goodman has to be the one that has to explain it. Well,
yeah,
I think it's
He will not know how to explain
that's
it.
what I'm going to say to him.
Someone go get Brian Kersey from the standing room only. Bring him down here.
Over here with the
Could be our
cornhole.
Gene
You got me in the cornhole room. And now
You're Terry McCulley.
There really is a cornhole room.
Is there?
There really is a cornhole headquarters.
Yeah.
You're going to be in there. We're going to put you with a microphone.
Jeff, don't put me in there.
Now, I got two for you. One,
Yep.
on this, obviously the rules committee comes together. Because you get the majority of these out of bounds, I know that there's some difficult out of bounds. Sometimes you go to a replay, right, and it's bang, bang. It's hard to even see on the replay.
Correct.
Was it taken into account of like, all right, we're taking an hour, and the percentage of times that we actually are correct or it's going to be upheld.
Yep.
That's what led us to being comfortable with this.
Correct. 100%. And the coaches wanted something. They wanted something.
You listened to their voices.
Correct. There's no referees on the rules committee, administrators, coaches. So we have a coordinator and a referee that give input. But when it comes to voting, it's the coaches and the administrators. So that's why I say they did a great job, because now it's give and take. It stops us from, I've said for the last 3 years, we use this as a crutch.
Right.
It makes us better referees now, because all of our teachings and trainings now on positioning for out of bounds plays, less experienced officials coming in and helping on out of bounds plays. If you have information, it's got to now become, don't worry that Roger Ayers is standing on the baseline. If you think he's wrong, come in and change him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we had 3 days in Atlanta, but that's what we preached at him. And it worked.
Roger normally right, by the way. We know
He
Roger's
is.
out there
He
watching.
is.
I get his inspirational quotes and different scripture.
He's tremendous.
Now, let me ask you this. One of the big things during college football season has been the ACC and their transparency in this replay center.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there's a pathway for perhaps even more transparency in basketball where fans can hear in real time what an official is looking at?
Well, I think that's going to depend on whether or not collaborative replay ever comes in. And like the SEC has collaborative replay now, and they do it, and they do a tremendous job. They have Mike Eads and his staff do a great job. I think if we ever went to that, I would think commissioners would be there. But, is that league going to do it, or is the A-10 going to do it, or is the Big South? It just depends on who wants to put it in place. And I think, I think we would be extremely transparent with it. And I think it does a lot of good for the fans to see how we go about it. But again, that's way above what my thought, what I do.
I think the biggest question a lot of people have when it comes to the way officiating works in the college game is the guys that end up having 6 games and 6 nights and 6 different locations. Is there a way to be able to maybe reduce a little bit of the workload? And I mean, you've done this for long enough. Does it get to a point where you feel like, okay, I've been on the road this much, maybe I'm a little tired, maybe I'm not feeling my best?
Well, I mean, with the way things are set up now, and the way that myself, we have an alliance with 11 leagues, myself, John Cow, Dwayne Glad, Mike Stevens, Jack Sweeney, all do it. We can send somebody to Philadelphia and they can stay for a week. The way my relationship is with Mike Eads from the SEC and his leagues, we can send somebody to Georgia for a week. The way my relationship is with John Higgins in the Big 12, we can send somebody to California for a week. So they can stay in the same hotel, work the games. I think that, our rosters are getting deeper than we've ever been, a lot deeper than when I was on the floor. And I think we're getting some referees now that are ready, that got opportunities in the last couple of years that are going to get some more this year, and that'll help that tremendously.
Brian, we appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the Naismith honor.
Appreciate that.
And thanks for the clarity. And our crew, some of our crew will see you down in Charlotte
if you need
for
anything,
ACC.
please reach out anytime. Thank you.
We appreciate you, Brian Kersey. There he is,
Thank you, sir.
Coordinator of officials here at the Atlantic 10.